As ready as I'll ever be.
Hey guys, my name is Ian.
I'm Toast.
And we're recording a podcast that we should have recorded a week ago, but Tyler's really lazy and doesn't like to actually do things.
We're gonna go with I'm lazy when I'm the one that creates the Google Doc with our subjects on it to talk about and everything.
Wow, look at this!
Totally not somebody hurt his wrist.
Look at this!
Like,
Listen, I did not hurt my wrist masturbating. It was I was my left hand. All right, I don't do that with my left hand.
You're into some weird shit. How do I know you don't use your left hand to make it seem like somebody else is doing it?
Listen, man, it doesn't work for me. You know, I've never had that work.
It's like the kid in high school who told me the guy I knew in high school told me he sat on his wrist to make his arm fall asleep for a bit, so it'd feel different.
That was from Family Guy. That's a thing.
No, I know
from
a
Family
kid
Guy.
that told me that, and I know the kid, and that's what he would fucking do.
That is a weird child.
Yeah.
Anyways, so today we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We're talking about the Fortnite airstrike that came out today. That I haven't played the game yet. I just saw clips on Twitter.
I looked up the stats for it.
It looks horrifying. Then we're going to transition 14 days of summer. The Fortnite event where they're bringing back things every day for 14 days.
What our thoughts on it are.
And what our thoughts are. Then there's TFT. I have played TFT for about an hour. Teamfight Tactics. It's taking over the gaming world. I've seen it have how many viewers does it usually average? The other day I went on it and I saw ridiculous amount of viewers.
Let me look. I've put way too many hours into TFT.
Right now it has 105,000.
Despite me not liking RNG games, I really enjoy it. Currently, if I go to browse,
yeah, 105,000.
TFT's sitting at number 305. You're doing right, you're doing something right, and people are enjoying it. If the game it's built into League of Legends, because you access it through the League of Legends client, it's just a sub game mode, like the featured stuff that comes around when there's events. It's pulling more viewers than the actual game.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Yeah, and League of Legends is 5. And
technically, League of Legends altogether has almost 200,000 views right now.
If they counted it on Teamfight Tactics' league, I guarantee Teamfight Tactics it would be over Dota 2.
Yeah, anyways, we can save this conversation for later in the podcast. People going back to old games. So what do you mean for that? Are people going back to old games right now? I haven't noticed.
So, we're like a prime example of it, us just hopping on COD once in a bit to play and other stuff. But I've talked to a lot of my friends in day-to-day at work, and just I'll go into it a bit more. Friends playing Halo recently, because nothing has really been amazing this year.
And then we got FaZe Mongrel, obviously. Team Secret transferring his contract over to FaZe. FaZe buying him out. I think it's a great thing by Team Secret, but we'll go into that later. So anyways, let's start with the Fortnite, the explosive update today. Was the patch notes, was this all that was added in the patch notes?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few things for Save the World and Creative, obviously, like they'll do every time.
Okay. So
it did change the limited time mode rotation. It's now going to be high explosive squads.
Boring.
Sneaky silencers, classic squads, which is just, classic. Solid gold duos, catch squads. All guns have been removed. The only weapons are grenades and other items that can be thrown or tossed.
Okay.
And then Blitz Squad, which is, the fast-paced mode, which I actually love Blitz. When Blitz is in the game, I play it all the time.
Blitz is probably the best game of mode that they have in general, in my opinion.
I mean, it's just so it's probably a bit different now, but Blitz is what Arena is currently. That's what Blitz, before we had Arena, that's what Blitz was.
Yeah.
So just more mat game, quicker circles.
So why do you think they decided to add this to the podcast or what? Hold on, not the podcast. We didn't add it to the podcast. Why do you think
to us?
Why do you think Fortnite decided to add this to the game? Because we already had explosive updates. When did the grenade launcher, the new one that proximity grenade launcher, when did that come out? Not that long ago, right? Like an update or two ago.
Yeah, proximity grenade launcher would have been just before the pump shotgun. So
yeah, a
week or two before that.
What do you think's up with them adding all these explosives? They've added explosives that do lots of damage.
It's really no shock that Epic Games does not like the box meta. Epic Games does not like turtling, tunneling, and boxing. It doesn't like our super safe play that the pro community does. So every time they like change explosives, add explosives, it's usually in a way to counter that. Hence why Stinks and Stormflip Stinks have stayed in the game. Because they're a great way to counter boxing up.
But I don't understand why they would do that, because look, if you watch events, especially between high tier players, it's always very intense. It's always very entertaining. So I don't understand why they want to do that. And also, you have to think like, what are you gonna do endgame now? It's literally, how are you gonna combat somebody who has two of those things, or even just one, and then somebody else throws another one on you? You got all these grenades from the sky. How are you building up that fast to protect your roof? That's
you question. See all the cracked creative kids now, man. The kids that sit in playground systems and creative, and they just play for hours on end because they're on summer break. They're high school students. They just have homework. They don't work, etc.
Yeah.
So they can just sit at home. That's why so many 15, 16-year-olds qualified for World Cup. They can just sit at home and play the game all day.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what I said. Like, how are you going to, if there is explosive rounds from the sky coming down at you, how are you going to protect yourself constantly and then think in a competitive setting when that's happening, people are going to be spraying at you. You're going to be shot from every single direction that is possibly shot for.
Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing, though. Again, that's why I was bringing this up. Is they need to be able to counter those people who, Faceway, for example, can literally retake high ground while covering himself the entire time. The entire time he retakes high ground, he's covered. He does not. There's not like a single moment where he can actually shoot at the kid.
But why? Because he just got. That's him being good at the game.
Yes, exactly. And Epic doesn't like that. They need, simply put, it's always like a big debate. Should they listen to the casual players? Should they listen to the competitive players? I get the casual players are the major player base, but you don't want to listen to the casuals because the casuals don't know what they want. They can ask for something, get it, and then be like, oh, wait, this sucks. Whereas competitive players, we only ask for what is like good for the game.
Well, see, but okay, so you would, like, we've been talking about this. I mean, the entire pro community have been talking about this forever. Why do you think they don't want to add a separate playlist?
A separate competitive playlist?
A separate, like, a loot pool to Arena.
Loot pool, yeah. I think personally, a separate loot pool has to do with keeping consistency in the game. I guess keeping consistency between the players. For example, let's say the combat shotgun was added to the game, and the pump was removed, but only from the casual playlist, and it was kept in the competitive playlist. And the combat shotgun was the shotgun to replace the pump in the casual.
Okay.
So the competitive players didn't get a combat. We all know the combat is a very broken shotgun that is better than the pump. We all kind of figured that out. Simple truth right now is if the competitive players kept playing with the pump over and over again, and then went into a casual game and got the combat shotgun, right?
Mm-hmm.
They now want it in their game, or they've realized like how broken it is, etc. And then a lot of the competitive players do play casual for practice. They play like squads, etc.
Yeah, but I don't.
I understand. Like I would like it too, but that's kind of my understanding is why they don't do it.
I don't know. I mean, I can get where they would be coming from with that. Like, they want to keep everything as consistent as possible throughout the game, so that if somebody is just who's a random person off the street can pick it up and be like, I want to be good at this game, and then they have all these same opportunities that a pro has, which is awesome. But at the same time, you shouldn't be able to have something like this in a competitive playlist. That's not competitive. It's just somebody who has RNG, picks it up off the ground, throws it at somebody, and gets a free kill. And that's just griefing somebody's game. That's literally.
Let it be known, nobody in this game believes right now that if you didn't qualify for Fortnite World Cup, you aren't skilled at the game. The game is in the worst RNG state it's ever been. The format for this tournament and everything. You see a lot of competitive players who are saying, I still want to play this game and I still will play this game after this tournament. However, this is like not competitive ready. Like, this tournament is not going to decide the Fortnite World Cup who's the best player in the world. And anybody the person who wins this tournament, if they believe they're the best player in the world, they're sorely mistaken. I think Bizzle mentioned that, said in an interview with Dexter too.
I mean, I don't know, but let's move on because that makes me angry. Like, it just makes me angry with thinking about like all the hours that people
But
put
we
on
still gotta
this
talk about
game.
the stats of the young fucking airstrike,
That's
and what we
true.
talk about your hours, like how many hours you put in the game.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is like it just makes me angry to see that like so many people put way too many hours into this game to be good at it because they want to make competitive gaming a career. And I mean, I was similar to that just a few weeks ago. Like I was putting in way too many hours. Like I was putting in probably 8 to 12 hours a day just playing Fortnite, and it's not good for you. Like I
I
was
still do.
yeah, you still do, and it's just
I
like
still play the game like constantly just to keep my skills up.
I can't I for my mental state I can't handle that because it's so stupid, and the things that happen to you you can't control sometimes, so it's just like why play the game. And I don't know who it was, somebody in E11 was saying how even if you aren't even if this game is RNG, you still need to have skill to actually win these things, and it's you can still control most things, which is true, but it's those situations when you don't have control over a certain situation where it's like, why am I playing this game? Why am I spending hours and hours playing this game when it's not that fun to me anymore? And I think that's just what a lot of competitive players feel right now. I mean, if you a lot of competitive players have been taking breaks. If you watch, like, so many of them are playing other games.
Yeah, they're all kind of just, finding a new niche or finding potentially quitting the game, etc. Um, well, let's move on, but let's talk about the stats really quick, and then we can move on to the 14 days of summer, or 14 days of anything you'd like to call it. So the airstrike, it's a thrown canister. It's a red-colored smoke that comes out of it, and then there's a red circle on the ground. It won't come out right away. The canister has to stop moving, so if it bounces around, goes inside the slipstream, just falls from like height, it will take a while.
Okay.
The missiles will spawn about 120 meters above the canister. Missiles aim for random points within a 9-meter radius of the canister. A total of 20 missiles will be rained down. Each missile has an explosion radius of 3.5 meters, so almost half the circle.
Wait, whoa. What?
Yeah. So the random points within 9 meters, they explode for 3.5 meters, which is 1 meter off of half the circle.
Why?
Yep. I don't know. Each missile deals 75 damage to players and 200 damage to structures, which is fun. It can be found in floor loot, chests, supply drops, vending machines, and llama. You heard me right. Floor loot and chests.
But hold on. Okay, think about that, especially in the beginning of the game. Think about pubs. Some random kid decides to pick one up off the ground, throw it, and you're dead. How are you going to get out of that house?
Hang on. Drops in stacks of 1, max stack size of 2. It's a legendary.
You can hold 2. You can hold
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Why?
Legendary, by the way.
Why?
Because they know what they're doing, dude. They obviously know what they're doing. They have the statistics.
Clearly, Epic knows what they're doing.
They know
Clearly, the company
so much more than we do.
Clearly, the company who decided to get rid of, like, I don't know, half the things that people like.
I'm just saying, Epic. Test servers. PUBG
That would be great.
They exist for a reason.
You're not gonna do that though.
League has a PvE where you can literally test updates and then submit response, and the updates will change. I've played League for 3 years, almost 4 now, and the PvE is amazing. Literally, 4 months ago, I remember seeing something about Ari's charm duration being extended, and it was extended to like 3.54 seconds, something like that, which was way too much, and the community pointed it out on Twitter, on Reddit, on the League forums, on the PvE, and it was reduced. They changed the update because the community went against it. League also does something, wow, shocker, they balanced the game to pro play.
Yeah, every game does. Every game
pro play, as well as the pros play on a patch before everyone else. So if we're on in League right now. There's my homepage on my League client. Patch notes. We are on patch 9.13. That means the pro players playing in the LCS on the weekend. That patch came out 14 days ago, 9.13. The LCS players playing in the patch on the weekend, they played in 9.12. They played in the patch from 2 weeks ago.
I'm guessing
there is a new patch coming out today, I believe. I think there's a new patch. Hang on. I'm just checking really quickly. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be.
Well, this is a good segue into TFT, League of Legends subgame. So what is TFT? What do you do? Explain it.
Okay, so TFT's auto chess. The basic gist behind it is you start off with a little carousel that has like units walking around a circle. You'll all come out of these like glowing circles. You pick your little cute ass avatar, and you run towards it. The avatars is something you get a starter one off the bat. It's a little river sprite. It's a cute little blue ghost. After you finish the first like set of quests, you get an egg, which allows you to get one of the main ones, and then you can be dumb like me and my friends, which we are, and spend $50 and get like 11 eggs and open them up and try and upgrade them to get like max ones. I spent 100 and I now have a glowing pink Garen penguin.
Tyler.
Yes.
Why?
I have a ton of. I really wanted the penguin with hot sauce coming down his forehead. Call it extra spicy feather night, but I was not lucky enough.
Okay. So moving on.
But hang on. So patch 9.14 should be patch 9.4 release. It should be today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow, actually.
So when that releases, does their competitive community get upgraded to the patch before
They
that?
will go to 9.13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as everything in 9.13 was fine, they will go to 9.13. So 9.14 will come out July 17th. So next week on Wednesday. The pros are always one patch behind, just in case anything game breaking gets added in a patch.
How smart! Wow.
Yeah. Well, also, hang on. Before we go into that with ragging on Epic, Fortnite has been a pro game for fully about a year, I'd say, almost 2.
Mm-hmm. It's probably been a pro game for not 2. It's probably been for a year because they around this
Summer
time
Skirmish.
is when they started Summer Skirmish. Yeah, so
Summer
a year.
Skirmish would have been the first one. So a year. League of Legends is on its 9th season. It's been an esport for like 7 years almost. So it's been an esport for a while.
Yeah.
So they kind of understand when to do right, what to do, what's wrong, what's right, etc. Which,
but why can't
what's a lot? Okay, I've noticed that with the podcast. I say it a lot.
But by that logic, why can't Fortnite just take advice from and look to other games?
It wouldn't work with a game like Fortnite.
No, but wouldn't it?
Imagine.
And I'm not.
So Winter Royale was hands down the worst tournament ever. Winter Royale.
Mm-hmm.
It will always be the worst tournament ever, probably in Fortnite history, just because of the amount of RNG in that tournament, with the sword, the planes, everything.
But what I'm saying,
if we had kept this, if they had done this where it's a patch before, the Katowice tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's doing yard work outside while I'm doing this. Smart. Anyways, the Katowice tournament. You done? Okay. The Katowice tournament would have been played with planes. Despite the meta and all the pros had been playing on for the past week and a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was no planes, the cannons, everything.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's not necessarily what I'm saying for the patch notes. I'm saying in general, just being a competitive game. Why can't Fortnite take advice and look to other games like League of Legends or Overwatch or CS:GO? Like these games have been established pro games for the longest time. Why can't they look at that and be like, yeah, okay, I understand. This is probably what we should be able to do or implement it in a way that our game can flourish.
It's all different scenarios, the way they're handling things, etc. It's a lot harder to become a League of Legends or CS:GO pro than it is to be a Fortnite pro.
Yeah, of course.
So there's like a lot of things that lead up to it. We're going off topic. We're going back into that whole competitive scenario we were talking before. TFT's auto chess. So you're gonna pick up your little champion off the carousel. You're gonna pick one. They'll have like little items floating above them that you get along with the champ. You're going to then place the champ on a strategical board. It's a little hexagonal pattern board. It will fight the 2 minions. After that round ends, your shop will appear at the bottom, and you can buy champs for gold, which you earn every turn. You earn some gold, also for selling units. Your goal is to kind of play through the menu, play through all the different AI, kill them, get their get items from them. Hopefully, item drop rates are kind of shitty right now. They're being changed in the next patch. Then you want to try and upgrade your units to tier 2 or tier 3, which tier 2 is you need 3 of the same unit, and it will become a silver unit. To make it a tier 3 unit, you need 3 silver units. So you need the 1 on the board, and then 2 more. So you need 9 units total of that unit to turn it into a gold, which is your tier 3. And you're just kind of strategically placing them on the board. The AI takes over as the round starts, and you will fight the other players. There's 8 people. You can queue with up to 8 people. I can fully say, if you have a group of friends to play this game with, it is phenomenal. Trying to get Vizzy to play it. He only wants to play with me because he wants to learn how to play the game. But I got like 8 friends I play with all the time, and it's the
so you can play 8v8, or is it like 4v4?
8 people. No, it's 8. It's 8. It's 8. It's well, because it's 1v1v1. It's free for all, right?
Okay.
TFT FFA. So it's a free for all game, and you can play with your 8 friends. So we've done stuff like all random, where you're not allowed to pick the carousel. It's just 3 carousels throughout the game. You're not allowed to pick any of them. The champion you get is all randomized. We've done stuff where you have to match the base synergy. So, for example, mine was Ari, who is Sork Wild. I had to match Wild and Sork synergies with my builds. My build had to focus around Wild and Sork. And I couldn't really buy anything else to like improve upon that until I had Wild and Sork finished.
Okay.
So we had a lot of fun. One of our friends got demon, and he didn't get any demons early. So when we were fighting and we all had 3 or 4 units, he had 1. And he was just getting annihilated for a while. So then the game benefits you. You have 100 health, you lose like 5 to 6 per death. It starts to get up and go more and more the later you get in the game. But it allows you to loss streak, win streak, etc. You're in the game for a while. You can lose your first like 10 matches and you'll still be fine. You'll just be really close to being knocked out of the game.
Gotcha. So my take on this, I only played it a while, like for like 30 minutes to an hour, so I don't know.
We're gonna play it after the podcast. Me and you're gonna play a game before you go anywhere.
I don't know about that one, Chief. But I for my take on it is like, for me personally, since playing competitive games, FPSs, fast-paced games like that aren't fun to me because I don't feel like I'm like stimulated enough, if that makes sense. Like I wanna be able to be doing things constantly. Like even if I'm playing Fortnite.
You clearly haven't watched your Darius trying to 1v4 a full team, like 2-3 guys, because your AI screwed up and you're just watching the mana bar tick up to get its ability off repetitively while its health just drops slowly.
Yeah, but see, I want to see different things. Like even in Fortnite, like if I'm running through the map, like I'm bored. I'm so bored. I
find it playing TFT if I'm like, there's going to be a ranked mode soon, so I'll probably focus on that a bit more. But I find when playing TFT, I'm either talking with my friends the entire time that I'm playing with, or if I'm on my own, I'm playing a separate game. So when I stream TFT, I'm usually playing another strategy game at the same time, like Slay the Spire or something. So during the downtime, I can be doing something else.
Well, I think the reason that I'm personally bored by anything is because I came from a COD background where literally you're in a tiny map, you're constantly fighting no matter what.
Jump, shoot.
So that's probably why I just, yeah.
Now we can transfer on the topic of Call of Duty. Vizzy, how have you been enjoying Call of Duty lately?
Well, Black Ops 4 is cool. It's a cool game.
Other than the one thing I hear him complain about every game we play, which is jumping.
Well, this is the difference, because on console, people aren't doing that. Like, people do jump on console, but it's nothing like PC. So if anybody who listens to this podcast plays console COD, holy shit, it's a whole different ballpark you get on PC. Because as soon as you get on PC, it's literally just some guy going... It's literally just him spamming his spacebar trying to jump over you all the time. Like you hear some footsteps and you're
on console. You're kind of focused on having to swap weapons if you die, etc. with your thumb. Unless you play claw, you're kind of focused on having to swap weapons when you die. You're drop shotting with your thumb on your stick, etc. Your thumb is usually moving between your buttons to the thumbstick to aim. Whereas on PC, your mouse is doing all your aiming for you. I have sprint and breath hold bound to my mouse.
That's weird.
So I just hit those 2 buttons. I can't. My left pinky's messed up. I can't hit shifts. Remember?
Get a better pinky, dude.
Yeah, totally. Anyways, but you aim with your mouse, and then you immediately, oh, I need to jump. You hit space. Oh, I need to crouch. Hit your crouch button. Oh, I need to I need to drop shot. Hit your prone. Oh, I need to swap weapons. You hit that. So you have so much more ability to do things that it allows you to just constantly be like jump slide, jump slide, jump slide, jump slide, jump slide, just repetitively, and you can do that while keeping momentum while aiming.
Yeah, but the thing is because all these kids have probably come from like other games, other CS:GO or shit like that. So they're trying their asses off.
They don't come from CS:GO. They don't come from CS:GO. If you came from CS:GO, you wouldn't be jumping.
But no. But what I'm saying is they probably did come from CS:GO. They probably came from just general games that on PC where you try harder.
Most likely, the Call of Duty kids have come from Apex Legends, which is playing Black Ops. So busy. We had a little interlude. Somebody started pulling a weed whacker up to my window again. You were talking about how a lot of the people playing COD Black Ops 4 are coming from PC games where they try hard.
Yeah. So basically, they're coming from games where they. On PC, you are going to try way harder because you have a harder. That's where the community of competitive players are for most games, right? For Apex, for Fortnite, for
anything,
for anything.
Hearthstone, Rocket League.
The only game that's not competitive on thing is COD, but people still want to take it like it is. But as soon as you get on that game, I honestly want people to play console COD to go on PC and just play the game. Not to mention that if you're a sniper, so like something I came from the sniping COD community, they nerfed the snipers on Black Ops 4, so your damage does less. You have
solely
to
on
higher.
PC.
Solely on PC. Yes.
Yeah, not on console, just on PC.
Yeah, they nerfed it on PC, and for me, I get why, because obviously like it's so much easier to aim with a mouse with a sniper. But I also hate it because, again, jumping. You hear a kid's footsteps. You might as well aim for the air around the corner. He's gonna jump. Fucking go ahead.
So true. It really is. No, I don't come from COD. I really enjoy sniping in every game I played. I was an opper in CS:GO. I generally, if I play an MMO, I pick a range class or something right off the bat. I just always love the sniper in games. Even like playing GTA Online on my console, I would have a sniper in my inventory. Rainbow Six Siege, I love single tap weapons with like ACOGs, etc. But yeah, no, I definitely can agree with that it's a lot more tryhard on PC. PC Black Ops 4 is one of my first CODs. I played Black Ops 3, but very little. And I played like MW and MW2 and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, like a little bit at friends' houses, like never on my own grinding the game for hours. So I'm not from that same kind of like understanding. I've always kind of jumped in games. I've always played Claw when I played on controller, etc. I say that a lot, realize.
Etc.
Yeah, etc. I say it a lot. Anyways, I always played like Claw and set. I always played Claw and I've always played like the most competitive way. My keyboard, now I'm like a little bit more laid back. My keyboard right now is like on an angle, but I used to do fully vertical keyboard. You see a lot of like pro Counter-Strike and even Fortnite players using, but I just don't really enjoy playing that way anymore. It would hurt my wrist. That's why I've altered it. I always look at different mouse grips to see if anything's better for certain things. I kind of play a hybrid of palm and claw. My back hand's like fully resting on the mouse, but my fingers are still creeped up slightly. And then the other thing I kind of want to talk about is people going back to a lot of old games, or just in general, all of the hyped games flopping this year. Little ones I have on the list are Anthem, Fallout 76, Crackdown, and Division 2. Any thoughts on this visit?
So, it's obviously, I mean, we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, or at least at the beginning. Everybody's going to games because there's nothing out. There's nothing to play right now. Literally, if you want to play a game that's popular right now, what is it? It's been Fortnite for 2 years. That's been like the go-to game, right? Because it's free to play, easy to play.
Apex Legends, if you enjoy hackers.
Yeah, there's Apex Legends, but they don't update the game enough. Like, they recently had an update. The update's awesome, but there's still way too many hackers, and there's no... What do you do? What are you supposed to do? Because it's just the same things, basically. It's just like a small, slight update. Like, that's the reason that Fortnite is so big, is because they have updates. It's literally game-changing every week. Wow, whether that's for the good or bad, we can discuss that. But it's still...
And that's why you kind of see people going back to games. Like if I go look on Twitch right now, I see Overwatch 35K, like people are playing it again. I see Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I see Destiny 2. I see PUBG.
Or you could go to Grand Theft Auto 5, which is the fourth viewed game on the thing, which 100,000 people.
It's just I do know. I know why Grand Theft Auto is on Twitch. It has nothing to do with stuff not being out. Grand Theft Auto, I didn't mention it because Grand Theft Auto is on Twitch because people are playing GTA RP. Yeah, which requires you to have a PC. I'm kind of bringing up stuff that you can play on everything.
Yeah.
And still, people are just going back to old stuff. Escape from Tarkov, I see it sitting at a nice 6.4K. You know what? I'm excited for that. I love Tarkov. Tarkov is probably one of my favorite games.
And then just recently, Just Chatting, the Just Chatting category in Twitch has gone up immensely. Have you noticed that? Because like
a lot of streamers have started. I've noticed. Sorry for interrupting you.
They're good.
To start their stream in Just Chatting and end their stream in Just Chatting.
You see, and that's the thing, but I think that also speaks towards there's nothing being out because like people don't want to play games as much as they used to. There's nothing to play. There's nothing that intrigues these people. So
wait,
they want to.
Black Ops 4's on the fucking list.
So they want to start out by doing that, and because Admiral Baru.
Regret my fact, yeah, Admiral Baru's got 10,000 viewers because I love Baru. I've loved Baru for a long time. It's because it's the Easter egg hunt. I just realized.
Still, I mean, that's a good amount of views.
Like, Baru always plays zombies, etc., so the Easter eggs would be why it's higher up on the list. Because I thought I was a little confused when it was that high. I was like, it should not be, like, below, in the top 10. I'm sorry. I like COD, but it shouldn't be in the top 10 right now. Then I figured out why.
But, in general, it's
recording podcast. Get out. Recording podcast. Oh, okay, sorry. Person, they just open the door and they don't say anything. They're just like, what are you doing? Fucking go away. Anyways. Anyways, on that subject, and then, like, some big ones, like I said, Crackdown in Division 2. I loved the Division 2. I put so much time into that game on release. I met some people through it. I played with them, everything. I met, like, a whole Discord group I was playing with. And then just the only thing that kept me playing Division 1 on console when I was younger was the Dark Zone, the PvP. And they just brutalized it and made it so casual and, like, noob-friendly that it's just not an enjoyable game anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, like, with the trend of all the games flopping this year, I'm kind of scared for Borderlands 3.
I'm not. Have you seen the amount of stuff?
That's not my point. That's not my point. I'm scared is I've noticed Borderlands 3 looks phenomenal. It looks like it has just as much content as Borderlands 2 at least. But I don't think some of the games flopping these last year or two has been the developers' fault.
Well, what games can you say?
Gamers being spoiled by games like Fortnite where they're constantly updating and adding content. And situations like that. Because games... like not really any of the like the ones I mentioned were like major ones that flopped, right? But I've just noticed like how bored gamers get currently of just whatever they're playing. How like just quickly they just like forget about it and want to play something new or go back to what they used to play. And that's why I'm worried about Borderlands 3 because it came out at a time. For me, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to honestly put into Borderlands 3. I know I'll beat the game, and I'll do at least another playthrough of it. But when I played Borderlands 2, and I put so much time into that game, and I probably have like 1,000 hours between, maybe more actually, probably higher than 1,000 hours between the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC. The only reason I played Borderlands 2 so much is because I didn't have internet. I had like really bad internet and I was living in the country and I would just sit on my desk on my computer and play Borderlands. I'd like talk to my friends on the phone and do loot hunts over the phone with my friends. I'd play like story-based games, all those. Whereas I find with me having good internet and everything now, I'd rather play like... I enjoy playing games with multiple friends at once.
Yeah.
So Borderlands will still have that aspect, I'm hoping, but it's not going to have the same kind of, like, longevity, I guess, as League of Legends, for example, when I play that with my friends.
Well, see, so...
I enjoy League because of the fun. We do try hard, but other times we just meme, and we just kind of have fun.
But you also have to think, like, Borderlands is trying to reach a different audience than these competitive games. So, like, the audience that it's going to reach is the Destiny viewers, the Division viewers, the people who want to play games like that, right? And Borderlands is the king of that genre. They are the best by far of that genre doing what they do. And to have that much content and Twitch integration, like have you seen so much stuff? Like there's what's it called? I don't know. They're doing something with
Yeah, I've seen all the Twitch integration you're talking about. Yeah,
like how like viewers can change what the guy wants to use during the game. So they have a game mode where you go into it and if a person donates, they can control what gun you're using for the next whatever time. Have you seen that?
Yep.
It's awesome. Yep. It's amazing. And that's why I think that unlike any other, that's what this genre needs to stay up there with viewers. It needs to have
100%, 100%. I agree with you on that concept. I'm just scared because of how much has flopped in the last year that had this kind of hype around it.
True.
That overhype.
But
Anthem had overhype. Fallout 76 had overhype.
But look at those games. The only game that was actually a decent made game was Division 2. And it's still
Anthem was supposed to be amazing. I played the Anthem beta.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw how much content it had, right? Nothing.
Anthem beta had so much content.
Because that's all the content.
For a beta. Exactly. But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to point out. We all thought it had so much content because we had so much in the beta and we enjoyed the shit out of the beta. Mm-hmm. And then the game comes out and it's lacking severely in content. But we were all misled because we played in a beta with so much content. And that's all I'm worried about. Pre-sequel. Yeah. It looked amazing. We saw pre-sequel on trailers and we were like, wow, that looks amazing. So much content. I think I did 2 playthroughs of pre-sequel.
But, okay, so the pre-sequel is a different story because it was not made by the same company that made the other games.
I understand that. But my point is that trailers are very misleading on what the story is and everything because they don't want to spoil the story, honestly.
Of course.
I would have rather just been told Borderlands 3 is coming out October this year and then them not release any content. Have you watched any of the trailers since the reveal?
Yeah.
I have not.
I think it's all... They look... I get what you're saying because you don't want to be spoiled by the content. You don't want to be spoiled like that. But they said it has 2.5 times the content that, or something like that. I could be wrong on the exact number, but it's something massive times the content of Borderlands 2, which is insane because look at Borderlands 2. 7 years later, it's still a game that people don't. They're still finding new things to do in the game. They're still creating things to do, and it's amazing. And you have all this integration, everything. I think this game's going to be one of the biggest games for a long time. I don't know if it's going to be constant. It's not going to have like the Fortnite viewers, right? Because it's not, that genre is never going to have that type of viewership.
No, because it's not competitive.
Yeah, but
I guess it's going to be because of competitive play.
I think it could stay in the top 15 for years. I think that it'll be a consistent game that you can go to and just play.
Absolutely, I guarantee I could scroll for only a little bit and I'd find Borderlands on Twitch. There we go. I just scrolled 5. Oh, wait, no, it's going by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. It's the 47th game on the list right now.
Which is insane for a 7-year-old
It's ahead of stuff like Dark Souls 3, Skyrim,
Elder Scrolls, NBA 2K19.
Rocket League.
Is it actually above Rocket League? It's like slightly below Rocket League.
Unless that's not the Rocket League channel, actually, and it's just like a bug, because Rocket League has... Oh, yeah. It's got the C9 player for 800 viewers. And it's above stuff like...
NBA 2K19,
any new
which is
games.
amazing.
I look for new games. So I'm just streaming Detroit Become Human. It's ahead of PUBG Mobile. It's ahead of Realm Royale. It's ahead of games that just like came out this year. Realm Royale came out last year.
But anyways, the point is
on this list.
Wait, what?
Fable 2. Fable 2 is on the list. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Scum. I love Scum. That game's a lot of fun.
Getting off topic, Tyler. but
Yoshi's Island.
I think that in my opinion, this game is going to be the go-to game for that genre for a long time, and I'm not worried about it.
I don't think it's going to take away from Destiny. I don't think it will. I don't think it will take away from Destiny on Twitch, because a lot of the streamers who play Destiny have said that they will not, like, for example, I think a big one would be King Ithalian. Despite having his start on Borderlands, and I remember watching him and Baru on Borderlands.
Yeah.
So I'm tired. Ithalian got his growth through Destiny 1. Destiny 1 is where he got his growth. He massively grew. I remember watching him go from like 320,000 followers at the beginning of when Destiny 1 came out to before the second raid coming out being close to his like 700,000. I think Ithalian has he's live right now. I just want to see his followers. I don't actually care to watch his stream. He's almost got 1 million followers on Twitch.
But
and a year like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, he was maybe at like almost getting to 300K.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is like, I think you're right to a certain extent. I think that Destiny 2 will still hold leadership, like 15,000 around there. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But people like Professor Broman or T-Rex or like just these people who hold consistent like 3 to 5K, a lot of them are going to switch over to Borderlands 3 for a while. Like they're still going to go back to Destiny 2.
They're not going to leave Destiny. They're not going to they're still going to hop on and do their dailies, etc., which is what they've said they would do. I think the big one. Oh, sorry, I'm just going a bit topic. The Twitch streamer I'm out of that whole group of people that was from before Destiny, from Borderlands. The one that I'm really happy to see grow over the past year is probably Admiral and Slayerage. Slayerage isn't from their whole group of Borderlands.
Yeah.
Slayerage is somebody who got a lot of recognition in Destiny 1, but not enough. And maybe finally streaming for 15 to 20 viewers, even though he was one of the best players.
And now
he's pulling. Yeah, he's almost at 1,000 viewers every stream. He's slowly growing. But Baru to me is the big one. Baru streamed at the same time as Gathalion, and he had about 80 or 90,000 followers.
Yeah,
he was somewhat big. When everyone swapped over to Destiny, he didn't like it because he likes mouse and keyboard. He likes, as he put it in a clip years ago, he likes being able to put his sensitivity really high, jump, and spin in 9 circles in the air before he touches the ground. He's got really good aim, so he likes to flick his mouth around and be on high sense, which console doesn't allow. I just knocked my phone in my lap. So he didn't get that burst of growth, and I saw kind of Baru's growth over time.
Mm-hmm.
He's right behind Gathalion now. He's at 700,000. But he grew from he continued to play Borderlands 2 during Destiny. He played the game all the way till Fallout 4 came out.
Yeah.
He got a bit of growth when Black Ops 4 came out because he started getting involved in the Easter egg hunts because he's always been good at that kind of thing. So he got a bit of growth through that. He's now as it's seen right now, he's probably one of the top streamers playing Black Ops 4, I guarantee. Or if not the top.
Who, Admiral Baru?
Yeah, he's the top. He's 7K above the guy below him. And he's above people like Waffle, who Waffle was somebody who grew with Lyric, and Waffle's close Waffle has more followers than him, but has less concurrent viewers, and it's because of the community bar is built. And then he kind of got more growth with Fallout 4, doing survival runs and stuff. He did permadeath runs in Fallout 4 with no power armor on the max difficulty, things like that. And then the big one he kind of got his growth with would have been Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was probably one of the best players of Dead by Daylight. And then also, of course, he was caught up in a lot of drama because of people stealing his emotes. Because he has probably one of the most loved set of emotes on Twitch currently.
They are beautiful emotes.
The little pandas.
I love them.
He's a tiny picture panda salesman.
All right, so this is something we probably should have transitioned to related to the podcast for Phrase Mongrel, because it had to do more with Fortnite than anything. But I want to make this I'll cut what I'm saying here right now, but I want to make this more of a discussion about contracts and stuff in general, because I find that fascinating for org contracts and such. But
there isn't really anything about Mongrel's contract. Nobody's seen it, obviously. The only thing I do know is Cloaksy released a clip where he was talking about it, and people were making the jokes oh, 80% all this, and he's no. Mongrel isn't stupid, because he was already under a contract, and he just people are saying Secret bought him out. I don't think Secret bought him out. Mongrel was one of the first pro players ever signed. I'm pretty sure his contracts run out. I'm pretty sure Secret only had him on a 2-year.
No, okay, so I saw all the details, and it was actually the FaZe update. Well, okay, well, I have to cut all that out. But um, what happened with FaZe Mongrel's contract is that FaZe came to okay. So Mongrel, you saw on Twitter that he was hanging out with a lot of the FaZe people. I don't know if you saw that, but
hang out with FaZe and like his usual duo, etc.
Yeah, and they were at FaZe Cloud House or something like that. I don't know, but or UK House, something like that. But what I'm saying is they basically, what I'm guessing happened, and the FaZe update Twitter tweeted about this. They talked to Mongrel. Mongrel said he wanted to try to join FaZe, and FaZe bought out his contract. Like, they legitimately paid Secret
they did buy it out.
Yeah,
they did buy it out. Okay, well, I wasn't sure if they bought it out or if his contract expired.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. I think I watched the FaZe update, but I didn't watch the whole thing. We were like halfway through it. They got to like the esports side where they were talking about Counter-Strike and then their PUBG team, and I kind of tuned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, his contract is really good, and Cloxy was mentioning this, that it's kind of like 100% all of the recent pros signing at FaZe is because of the good contracts, and it's kind of because of Banks. And Banks has really turned things around, and he's kind of been like a vocal point in trying to make things better. And it's good to see that kind of all the drama subsiding. If you saw with like Tfue and his girlfriend breaking up, like Banks commented on it, and then Banks and his girlfriend broke up, and Tfue commented on it. Like, they were very like friendly to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hope to be friendly with somebody who I had a fucking tattoo of them on me.
But what I'm saying about contracts is it's interesting to me to see how gaming in general has evolved. Because like when I was a kid playing COD in 2012, like I never thought that gaming would become basically like a new sport. I didn't
think it would become an esport, but I thought it would be a lot more like bigger and more mainstream. I just never thought it would be to the extent that I didn't think the current spot we're at when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, like, damn, I'm pretty good at shooters and I have good mechanics in games. I did not realize like it would be at this level this early. I thought it would take a few more years. I thought it was going to be out of my prime. Like, I was going to be in like my 30s or 40s.
Which
I think was happening.
Honestly, gaming's not even near what it could be.
Eventually,
I think the gaming's going to be one of the top sport in general, because like you have to think,
it's exhilarating to watch.
It's exhilarating.
You watch most games and figure out what the person's doing right, what they're doing wrong, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Just by watching. Whereas I can't stare at a soccer player and see him like miss a goal and be like, fuck, how did he kick it wrong?
Well,
I can be like, damn, he kicked it wrong. Like, he kicked it with the right side of his foot. Should have kicked it with the left. Whereas I can realize, hey, man, you should have picked up that gun on the ground and not the one that you picked up from the other room.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's such a... This is going to grow for so many people so much faster than any other sport, because you're going to have the entry point of hey, what do you want to do? Just play a free-to-play game like Fortnite, like League of Legends, like all these games that are free-to-play. You can have, like I say, I think free-to-play is going to become a huge thing within competitive games, but you're going to have the entry point of, hey, should I go outside and join my school football team, or can I stay in my room all day and play this super fun game that I can get good at, because everybody can get good at this game, and the entry point to it is so much easier than actually being good at sports. Like somebody who's say 5'5" and wants to play football, you know, they're not going to be able to play football for their entire career because they're 5'5". Genetically, they're inferior to somebody who's like 6'20", like Tyler over here. And but what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying is, like, anybody who wants to can play a video game. Not anybody who wants to can play football, and that's why I think that gaming is in the next 20 years is going to take off.
Exactly, and it's a lot less. It's a lot less. I mean, it's still a lot of time involvement, but it's a lot more like when it's raining, you can't play soccer, you can't play football, you can't play basketball. When it's raining, you can sit at your computer and play games. You can play them like in any scenario. You can always be like at your computer at some point, so it's a lot easier to practice. You don't need to like schedule time for it.
And especially with people our generation, like when we have kids, we're probably not going to be that angry that they're sitting in the room for 10 hours a day playing video games, because that's what we did.
I don't know if I'm anything like my dad. My dad likes to kick my ass if I'm sitting in my room for more than like 6 hours a day.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think you're going to do that with your kid? Because I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, but back to the point that I was making is like it's just gaming is mind-blowing to me, what it's doing and what it's going to be, and I'm excited for the future, because even though like I haven't played video games the past few weeks because I've been busy, I still want to see gaming take off, and I still want to be a part of it. So That's why we're doing this podcast. That's why we
fucking grind for Fortnite and you get me to sign us up for a stupid ass fucking tournament.
I'm fine. I'm still better than 99% of the people. Okay. But
that's talky. People on the podcast hear that. If you want to 1v1 him, his Epic Games is Sadboy Vizzy.
Yeah, what's up? At me.
And you can do 1v1s, and if anyone beats him, he'll pay you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I got a $10 an hour job and I work 18 hours a week right now. All right, I ain't paying anyone.
$10 an hour?
Yeah.
Damn, that's rough.
Well, you gotta remember it's US.
Wait, it's not below minimum wage. Yeah, but
no, minimum wage in the US is like $8.70.
Yeah, so that's okay. So $10 US is $13.14 Canada.
Yeah.
Canadian minimum wage is $14 an hour.
Yeah, it's because Canada's a good country. Okay.
I make 14 right now. I'm getting my forklift license, and I'm gonna be making about $19.20 an hour.
If you guys enjoyed this podcast, we would all both appreciate if you liked, subscribed, commented, and told what we did right, told us what we did wrong, what we could talk about in a future update or a future installment of this podcast.
If you want to be notified on points when we upload the podcast or when me and Vizzy go live, him rarely, you can also follow us on our socials below, which Vizzy will link in the description.
Will do. And then next week, Tyler, take it away.
So next week, yeah, I want to wait till the league content comes out as well as like other games and maybe the new Fortnite update. Give us a little bit more time to talk about that kind of stuff. The podcast may come out then a little bit later on in the week, more closer towards the Thursday, Friday. We may record it on like the Tuesday, Wednesday, but we might actually not actually upload it till the weekend. That's the goal. I don't know how busy he's gonna be because sometimes he's just an unmotivated piece of shit. Tells me he's gonna get on at fucking 11 o'clock and he's on at fucking 4.
It's only because I wake up at 4. Okay.
Let it be known, by the way. When I met this guy, he told me that his sleep schedule was I'm gonna go to bed because I wake up at 7 a.m. regularly.
I do, but then I met Tyler.
Never woken up at 7 a.m.
It's because I decided to grind Fortnite with you, and now my sleep schedule is fucked.
Anyways, that's the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry it was a bit late, but we really enjoy doing this. So any comments in the description, any comments on the video will be super appreciated. It helps us kind of figure out what we want to do, where we want to go with this. If you'd like us doing this more sporadic, bouncing around, kind of talking about different topics, or if you want us to just talk about mainly Fortnite, we can always do that. And then we might just release like specific episodes on specific things. Maybe you'll get 2 podcasts in 1 week. Let us know in the comments, though. We really do appreciate all the support we got on the first video. We were not expecting, honestly, any viewage. We were thinking like maybe 4 or 5 from all of our friends.
And we got 30.
Who we told about it. And we got, what, 25?
30
views. And it's just huge to see that kind of support for a channel we just, like, dropped out. We had, like... We don't really have a ton of, like... reach on our socials, so it's just really cool to see all that support.
Yeah,
Anyways, this is the Sadboy Hours podcast. I'm Toast.
I'm Ian.
That's Vizzy. I gotta redo that because I'm swinging around, I think, in my hand. This is the Sadboy Hours podcast. I'm Toast.
I'm
That's
Ian. God damn it, Todd! Do it again.
We'll see you next week.